Hello and welcome everyone to the Frontier feature match for this round. I believe it is top 8 cut, I believe. Today we have Mason's Atarka Red versus Snorks' Green Red Unsealing. And we will jump straight into the action and we will continue to talk about it. They have done their mulligans already. Both players ready to play. Let's go. So it will be Mason on the play first with a very 1-2 drop mana heavy hand. Starting off with the Soul Scar Mage, very consistent, very consistent start. He's gonna stack off those prowess triggers. It's surprising that he didn't start off with the Monastery Swift Spear. It may be because he wants to combo off with the Atarka's command, but we'll find that out later. Snork started off with an Elvish Mystic, already starting with that ramp. He's at 3 mana next turn. Mason has some pretty heavy hands right now. Renner up Ruins here to start dealing damage. He plays a Smuggler's Copter. Smuggler is an artifact type. It does trigger prowess on the Soulscar Mage. So Soulscar Mage will be swinging for 2. Alrighty. Snorks has 2 mana on the board. He has Rootbound Craig, so that's 3. Now he has the red active. Another Elvish Mystic. He's getting that ramp up and strong. He has 4 mana next turn. All right, Mason. He got. He has 2 Monastery Swift Spears. He has a very aggressive play right here. He has not only the Smuggler's Copter that he can crew for 1, but he also has 2 Swift Spears with haste. Plus the Hazard that will be following up once he hits a 4th land. It's a very brutal combo that he has going on right now. Mason is currently thinking how to play this. Obviously, the land drop goes first. All right, he's going for the Monastery Swift Spear plan. Only 1 Swift Spear, and he's moving to combat. Or, hmm. It seems he's still very undecisive about what he wants to do. He has multiple lines of play here, so obviously something. So he's crewing. He's crewing with the Smuggler's Copter. He's gonna start doing that. He's gonna start filtering his deck. 4. He's attacking for 4. Trigger. Trigger resolves. He draws another Atarka's command. Interesting. He has a very aggressive next turn, but not. He discards the Hazoret. So it looks like he's going to be going for a very aggressive turn 4. Um, yeah, it seems there was a miscommunication as to what was happening. All right, but we're all good to go. Second phase. What will he be doing? He will play the second Swift Spear, and I assume this will be the end of his turn. So 5 mana on the field with Snorks. Cinderglade is fetched. The Sarkhan's Unsealing's on the field. Sarkhan's Unsealing's a key card for these large ramp decks because it makes cards like Carnage Tyrant do some immediate hate and damage. So Mason drew his card. Exquisite Firecraft. Not what he was looking for, at least what I think he wasn't looking for. He does have a lot of damage right now on the board, but Exquisite Firecraft will be dealing 4 damage, but it all depends on what Mason will want. First he cruised with the Smuggler's Copter with one of the Swift Spears. He's moving to combat. He's probably going to try to fish for a cheaper burn spell of some sort. Nope, a land. He was going to have to discard something now. Atarka's command comes out. What will the modes be? Ah, I'm sorry. He prefers to be called Noah. So we'll be doing the 3 damage, and the creatures will get +1/+1. So he has 2 creatures that are in combat that will trigger off prowess. So each one will be a 3/4 at the end of this. Plus a Smuggler's Copter will be a 4/4 after the pump. That is more than enough for lethal, and they will be moving on to game 2. Noah takes the first game. So Noah has a significant advantage over Snorks in the sense that he could apply a turn 3, turn 4 lethal clock. Snorks, he will have to hopefully have some sort of disruption prior, or he will have to hope that Noah does not has the turn 3, turn 4 lethal. Noah keeping a Smuggler's Copter heavy hand, very interesting. And he drew into the 1-drop that he needed. So Noah, I am going off the assumption that he kept this hand specifically because of the Wild Slash. Wild Slash does stop Snorks' mana ramp with his turn 1 Elvish Mystics. But now that he has an aggressor on the field, he will be playing Monastery Swift Spear, and presumably next turn a Smuggler's Copter, since he has 3. Snorks casting Oath of Nissa. Nissa allowing him to look at the top 3, grab a creature, land, or planeswalker from the top 3, and put the rest at the bottom. Seeing that Snorks only has 1 potential creature in hand, he needs to find another large creature, and he finds the Galta, which is a very good choice in this matter as he has the ramp and the creature powered reduction to cast it. Noah fetching for a Bloodstained Mire. He has 2 lines of play here. No green. Interesting. Alright, he's going for the Smuggler's Copter. Prowess triggers. And assuming he will swing for 2. So Noah's having a very slow start. Not as aggressive as last game. Snorks now has a very hard aggressor, the Steel Leaf Champion. That Monastery Swift Spear will now only be used for crewing as of now. Pinging him down for 1 with the Elvish Mystic, getting as much damage as he can. Noah has quite a few lines of play here, but it may be that his main concern right now is the Steel Leaf Champion, as it cannot be blocked by the Swift Spear unless the Swift Spear is pumped. Noah deciding to play another Copter, swinging for 2. Oh, he's actually going to crew the active Smuggler's Copter and loot. And maybe he may be looking for another land at this point. Noah is having an extraordinarily slow start. Snorks is starting to flood the field a little bit more than he may be able to handle. Snorks drew the Sarkhan's Unsealing. That is going to do some massive damage the next upcoming turns. He may be deciding what to do because he has 6 toughness. He has 6 power on the field, plus 1 from the Mystic, and 4 lands. So he technically has 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana, 1 short for the Galta. So he's going to be casting the Sarkhan's Unsealing and just getting in as much damage as he can right now. So 6 damage off that turn. Next turn we should be expecting something big. Dragon Fodder being cast, getting his 2/1/1 goblins. Noah missing out on necessary land, unfortunately. He's crewing each copter with the goblins, hoping to loot some land of some sort, as he needs a green and he needs at least 2 more lands for Hazoret. Stoke the flames. This definitely will help, as his creatures can help him cast this. He pitches the Atarka's command. Good choice, honestly, as he has no green mana or a fetch to get his Cinder Glades. Hazoret does not help him in the situation as he's not seeing any lands. Out comes Surrak. Sarkhan's Unsealing will trigger. He is targeting Noah with it. So Noah will be going down to 8. Oh, I'm sorry, 4 damage. He will be going down to 7. He surrenders. So we're moving on to game 3. It is a best of 5. So right now, both of them are 1-1. We will be going to sideboards. Currently, they are even. Mason putting in 4 cards. Currently, his sideboard plan is 1 basic mountain, 1 scavenger grounds, 3 braids, 2 roast, 2 ether harvesters, 2 Kari Zev's expertise, 2 rampaging ferocidons, and 2 Chandra's torch of defiance. Seeing how slow Snorks' deck can be, he may be putting in rampaging ferocidons as he needs early elvish mystics to ramp the mana and other blockers of sorts. Karizev's expertise is also a very good choice to put in right now as he casts very large creatures. And as far as we know, none of them have haste. Um, so stealing one of them will definitely be a game ender per se. A braid, you might not see that put in as we didn't see any artifacts. There's no real reason to touch the mystics as they won't be blocking. Roast definitely will be coming in. 5 damage to target creature without flying. We have not seen a single flyer. Most of the creatures are relatively 4 to 5 toughness minus the mystics. Definitely deals with Steel Leaf Champion. Very very necessary for this matchup. Aethersphere Harvester is not something that I would personally put in, but it is an option. Chandra, it's a little too slow for this matchup. Not something to go in. Snorks' sideboard, 2 Tormod's Crypt, 1 Banefire, 2 Blossoming Defense, 2 Abrade, Nissa Vastwood Seer, Prowling Serpapard, two Tireless Trackers, and Conclave Naturalist. 2 Conclave Naturalist. So, seeing that Noah has a lot of small creatures, uh, seeing that Noah has a lot of small creatures, the Banefire may come in handy. The Blossoming Defense will definitely come in handy in case of hate. And Tireless Tracker could help in the turn 3 drops. From So we have confirmed that Noah will remove 2 Hazoret and 2 Stoken Flames and put in 2 Karizev's expertise and 2 Roast. As Snorks, he has confirmed that he is putting in 2 Abrade and 2 Blossoming Defense, re- removing 1 Sarkhan Unsealing, 1 Goreclaw, and 1 Become Immense. 2 Become Immense. He's removing 2 Become Immense. So very slow start on Noah's play, starting off with a tap Cinderglade, while Snorks puts down a Llanowar Elves turn 1. So the ramp begins already. Noah putting down a fetch and Soulscar Mage. He's already started on that game plan. Unfortunately, his hand will need 2 mana, so he cannot combo off. He couldn't combo off this turn with Soulscar Mage, but it will not seem necessary as he puts down as Snorks puts down a Steel Leaf Champion, which we will see how Noah will go about with dealing with it. Land drop return. Noah has multiple lines of play here. Looks like he's going for the roast. He's just going to kill the Steel League champion. Good play. Just instant removal. Trigger off the prowess. Dealing 2. Simple chip damage that will win him the game. Snork's fetching, 3rd land. He currently has 4 mana available on the field. Cannot cast a Gigantosaurus yet, so he will go for the Oath of Nissa. Let's see what he can find here. Finds an Elvish Mystic, more ramp. Very nice, very nice. Playing the Elvish Mystic, obviously. Not attacking, interesting. I guess he does not want the chip damage in right now. Noah's mana curve currently starting to hit the 3s in his hand. Luckily, he has the mana for it right now. Swinging in for the Soulscar Mage at a power of 1. Snorks will assign no blockers. Before damage, Lightning Strike to the face. And add another damage for the prowess. So down to 11. So total 4 extra damage there, 5 damage total. From 16 to 11. Gigantosaur comes out to play. That's a very difficult creature for Noah to deal with. But seeing what he has in hand, this should be okay for him. Karzev's expertise. He's going to steal the Gigantosaur. Snorks respond to the Blossoming Defense. Very perfect play line right here. Snork saw that from a mile away. He was ready for it. Gigantosaur is still on his field. The game will continue. Now Mason is running out of options here. There aren't that many low CMC cards that could deal with a Gigantosaur. Most of them are in black. He's playing red, so he's going to have to do more damage than anything else. Snorks, not really sure what he's thinking about. He's just moving straight to combat. Swinging for 10. Not casting the Galta. Interesting. He must be expecting another Karizev's expertise, which is reasonable, seeing that Mason has 2 in his sideboard. These deck lists are public, so they did have a chance to see each other's deck lists. No, Noah trying to see his options here, seeing what he can do. Because another hit from that Gigantosaur definitely will be lethal. He will have to block in some way, shape, or form. He does have the ability of Soulscar Mage, so maybe he will do something with that. Soulscar's Mage ability being if a source you control would deal damage, non-combat damage to a creature, which is what 2 of the 3 cards in Noah's hands do. That Gigantosaur's power and toughness will be drastically reduced, as it will have -1/-1 counters on it permanently. He'll play the Monastery Swift Spear. He is attacking only with the Soulscar Mage. Elvish Mystic assigned the block. They trade. He's probably considering whether to hit face or hit the Gigantosaur in this situation. He's in a very tough spot. It'll all be dependent on his next draw or two. Snork's drawn into lands. Not what he wants, especially with all this mana ramp. Casting the Galta. Now will Snork's attack. Another Kari Zev's expertise is still in the deck. So he will be swinging with the Gigantosaur. Noah will have to block. And the turn, Noah will be Atarka's commanding. Targeting, yep, three to each opponent. And can't gain life. Okay. Looks like he's just, oh, Noah concedes as he drew. I assumed he was hoping for a 1 mana burn spell. So he'll be getting ready. Mason will be on the play, or Noah will be on the play. So far, Snorks is 2, Noah is 1. Snorks needs to win one more. Snorks has a very ramp heavy hand with a Surak and a backup Surak. So he is nice and toasty. Mason Mason acted a little too hasty there. Starting off with the Cinderglade, no turn 1. 2 Smuggler Copter Hand, 1 Roast, 3 lands total, and a Dragon Fodder. Turn 1, Eleanor Elves, very basic. Noah fetching for basic mountain, casting a smuggler's copter. He will not be dealing with the Llanowar elves. I guess he is expecting bigger threats to come into play first. Next turn, Snorks has 5 mana available after the fetch. He is in a very, very good position right now. Noah is not doing too much, and he is not playing fast enough. So Snorks has all the time in the world at the moment to do what he wants. Noah casting Soulscar Mage, crewing the Smuggler's Copter. He will be swinging for 3, and he will be looting. He draws a Smuggler's Copter and ditches a smaller Smuggler's Copter. That is not what he needs in the situation. He will play another Smuggler's Copter. He does have the Dragon fodder available, so he will be able to crew both Smuggler's Copter with that. Now it's just a matter of what will Noah play next, or what will Snorks play next. He has Sarkhan's Unsealing available, Gigantosaur available, and Surrak the Huntcaller available. He will go for the Surrak. Surrak getting haste from his Ferocious ability. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if creatures you control have a total power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. We were under the assumption that the target creature was Surrak, and Surrak swung for 5. Mason casting Dragon Father with the Prowess trigger. It will resolve. He will have 2 goblins now, both able to equip the Smuggler's Copters. Noah still has a Roast and a Lightning Strike on the field, or Lightning Strike in hand. He's equipping both Smuggler's Copters, or crewing both Smuggler's Copters. Attacking with only 6 on the 2 Smuggler's Copters. And he will be doing the loot trigger twice, which is whenever a Smuggler's Copter's attacks or blocks, you may draw and discard a card. It is a may, you do not have to. But it seems that Noah wants to try to find an answer for his large creatures, as he has the mana ramp to start pushing them out. More preferably Kari Zev's expertise. He will cast Roast, targeting the Sarkhan. Quick removal. Sarkhan is a very large threat in this deck, as it gives the bigger creatures such as Gigantosaur and Galta haste. Unfortunately, that is something that Mason cannot deal with, large haste creatures. He needs them to stay back for Karizev's expertise. Otherwise, he will be taking a large amount of damage. Snork's just getting straight to the point, cast a Gigantosaur, and try to end this game quickly. Noah's starting to get a high damage output this upcoming turn. Noah crewing both Smuggler's Copters. attacking for 6. And he will be eluding twice. He never stayed in the mode, so he just assumed it was lethal. But just to clarify for our viewers, he did do pump and burn, 3 damage to each opponent, and 1/1 to each creature. +1/+1 to each creature. So we will be going to game 5. Both of them are 2-2. Very, very close matchups on both players, as they are essentially one turn away from winning on each other. So moving on to game 5, they have their opening hands. Snorks mold down to 6. This very high CMC hand. Noah. No, he has the dragon fodder and the smuggler's copter. He can look for answers that way. Snorks is keeping his 6. Noah is keeping his 7. Snorks is going high risk, high reward here. He is hoping he draws into more creatures, or in just in general more mana ramp, as those Galtos are not being reduced by anything large anytime soon. Both both start off with a check. Both start, so, Snork starts off with a Rootbound Crag, comes in tapped. Noah starts off with a Cinderglade, comes in tapped. Very slow turn ones. Snorks drew a Ronus. Ronus is a very good card in this situation, as it won't be leaving the field anytime soon. It's a constant reducer for Galta. This is exactly what Snorks needs. Noah casting Smuggler's Copter, trying to get that early looting as fast as possible. Snorks, he has 2 lines of play here. The, the Ronus or the Surrak. He will be going for the Ronus. The Ronus will be able to stay on the field due to its indestructible. So it looks like he will be playing around the roast, which Surrak dies to. Mason casting a Zergo Bell Striker, and crewing it with the Smuggler's Copter, and casting the Dragon Fodder to create these 2 goblins. Smuggler's Copter We will be skipping steps, just they will be looting and taking the damage. No blocks, since Smuggler's Copter is a flyer, and Ronus is not active yet. Noah deciding what to discard. He has many good options here. With the other Dragon Father, he can combo with the Atarka's command and swing wide. He's still deciding. So while he thinks, we will read off his cards. He has the Dragon Father, which is what he used earlier to cast to bring in the two goblins. He's discarding Exquisite Firecraft. CMC's a little too high for his liking at the moment. He has Atarka's command, which will help him swing wide with all these creatures. Wild Slash, direct 2 damage. Monster Spear, creature with haste, prowess. The nothing too crazy there. Snorks, he's casting for 4 mana the Surrak. And with Surrak, Ronus is now active. He will be giving Surrak haste. He'll be swinging for 10. Mason needs something here. He drew another Swift Spear. Probably not what he wants. Let's see what he can do with this. He's thinking. The problem with the Swift Spears mainly is that they could simply just be trampled over by Ronus. So he has to take that into consideration as to what he will follow up the Swift Spears with. He he has the option of crewing with the Smuggler's Copter, which will give him 3 toughness to block with. The Atarka's command also buffs. He does have that available. He has 2 more tokens with the Dragon Fodder. Atarka's command is instant speed, so he does have available on his opponent's turn. Same thing with Wild Slash. He's crewing Smuggler's Copter, casting a Swift Spear. He's gonna start swinging wide. Atarka's command, pumping damage, pump and burn. So 3, and creatures get 1/1. So Swift Spear gets the prowess trigger. That is a 3/4. Goblin is a 2/2. That's 5 right there. Smuggler's Copter is a 4/4. That's 9. And Zergo Bell Striker is a 3/3. That is 12. And with the 3 damage, that should be 15 total. Let's see if he sees it. He may still be deciding what to do. Pump and burn. Not sure why Mason is silent. Still waiting for him to. Oh, sorry, my chat was off. So he conceded. That was more than enough for lethal. Mason has won. Noah has won this match. Snorks would have won on the backswing. Very good games by both players. Played till 5 with Noah best with Noah in 3 or Noah in 5. I'm sorry. Good game, everyone. Have a good evening.